Good morning. We are so excited to have you here. And my name is Allison Mancini, the holistic nutritionist.
And I'm Julietta, the magical PT. And I want to welcome all of you goddesses out there to our show. And here we hope to fill you with information that will support you in becoming the goddess that you are meant to be. This morning, I am super excited. We are joined by Karen Prescod, aka the BowTie Gurl. Welcome to our show. You look so sharp in your bow tie. I love it. I should have brought mine to wear for the show today. But Karen, please introduce yourself to our audience. Let them know who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. As you said, Karen, aka the BowTie Gurl. I'm born and raised in Trinidad, and I have a daughter. Most people don't know I have a daughter. She's 29 now, I believe. Yes, she's 29. People always seem to be shocked by that. I'm married to a beautiful woman, Tracy, who moved from Virginia to be here with me in Florida. So it's how special and lucky I am. I do quite a few things in the community. I am a speaker. I also have a nonprofit called BowTie Kids, which is courage and confidence for kids that are living with chronic pain. I also sit on a couple of boards, spend a lot of things in leadership, and do a lot of volunteer work also. Recently was appointed to the Broward Sheriff Task Force, Social Justice Task Force. So that's kind of like in a nutshell some of the things that I do. I'm really excited to chat with you ladies today.
Well, wait, I got to ask a quick question before we go on. Can you explain a little bit more about what BowTie Kids does?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So BowTie Kids was really born out of my own personal journey with chronic pain. And through that journey of chronic pain and meditating and coming back, BowTie Kids was born. And it's really to empower kids, so support, nurture, and empower kids and family that are impacted by chronic pain to secure a better quality of life. And one of the things that we're doing with a few things we're doing, but the things we're focusing right now that's easier for us to focus on because of COVID and the environment we're on right now is our KEYS program. And KEYS stands for Kids Experiencing Empowered Support. And it's really an interactive and experiential experience. And everybody that's present there, whether it's your adult or your child, you get to have that experience. And it's fun. The facilitators walk away all the time. It's like, wow, I really enjoyed this. And it's for the kids, but it's really for us too. And you learn so much about yourself, even through yourself with the questions are being asked and the things that we're doing, and also through the kids that are having the experience and sharing the knowledge. It's amazing how intelligent these kids are, how in touch with themselves they are. It blows my mind every single time.
So these kids are suffering from chronic pain. Maybe they have it can be for all kinds of reasons. Yes. I mean,
yes. So it could be for all kinds of reasons, right? Some of them are diagnosed and some of them are not. Like, for instance, me, when with my pain, it took them 3 years to figure out what it was. We have a family a mother who has 2 kids that took her years to find out what the kids, where the pain was coming from, why they were having so much headaches. So sometimes it's from cancer, sometimes it's diabetes, sickle cells, you name it. It's a lot of chronic diseases that can cause chronic pain. And then sometimes they have the pain and the doctors don't know what it is, but it's still there. And we get to address it, the mind, body, and spirit aspect of that.
That's incredible. Good for you.
Speaking of a great program.
Speaking of a mom with a kid with chronic medical issues, that's awesome. I love it.
Yay. Okay. So, are we ready to dive into questions? I'm really curious what her answer is going to be to the first question. So, really, Karen, what is your superpower, or what would you choose your superpower to be?
I believe my superpower is trusting my instincts.
Ooh.
And I'll elaborate on that a little bit. And this is probably through the process of my journey, right? Having to spend a lot of time with myself and having to help heal and doing a lot of meditations. But really, when I learned what that voice was, that clear voice that directs me, man, it's like, and sometimes I don't even know why. So now I don't even question it anymore. When I hear it, I know the direction to go to. So I'll give you an example of that. People comment me a lot on being able to, in my leadership roles, put the right people in the right places, right? Being able to bring the right people on the team and then know exactly where, even when they don't see it, they're like, I don't know why you're putting me here, but having a conversation with somebody and trusting my instinct, knowing that is the right fit for you, and then kind of watching them excel in it is just amazing. And that's something greater than myself. That is not me. That's not me in my head. That is something greater than myself. So trusting my instinct, I think, is actually my super. I'm so proud of that because I struggled with that for a lot of years as to know when to, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stay? And I didn't know. And then for years, I kept asking the question, like, how am I supposed to know what's the right thing to do? And now when the answer came, when the voice spoke to me, it was just so clear. It's just amazing. So yes, I would say that.
Beautiful. And I think so many people, like you say, it's the voice that speaks to you. And that voice is speaking to all of us, every single one of us. It's about getting to trust and trusting that you're hearing the voice and trusting the answers that it's giving you. And, trusting that your intuition is clear and that it has your best interest in heart. And sometimes it's hard because it doesn't seem like it's the right thing. But if you just trust and go down the path, then it becomes clear, like, oh, this is why I was supposed to go this way. It didn't seem right at the time. But, when you trust that voice, trust is huge. So
you're absolutely right. Sometimes we're like, why it is just telling me to go that way? And I've learned not to question it because I get to trust it. Well, I met that person so I can meet that person. I had to go here so this can happen. I had to go through this experience so this can happen. And once you trust that, listen, it's painless. You just be able. What happens is you start living in the flow of things. You just in the flow, and life is just smoother. You're gonna go through challenges in life. It is what it is. But it doesn't have to be suffering. It's more in the flow of embracing.
Yeah, I love that because I learned that myself. I guess went through some real struggles. Gosh, my kids were little. They were, I don't know, 5 and 7 or something like that. And they're now 24 and 21. And I learned to really listen to, like you said, my instinct and I think we as women have to appreciate that and really use that power that I think that we all have, and that is our instincts. I think it's such a huge thing, and I think so many times we ignore it because we're like, oh, that can't be, because it's like you said, Tracy. You have that voice, however you hear that voice or whatever, and we're like, oh no, that can't really be right. I'm just making that, right? We think we're making it right, and so I think that's a huge thing, is to learn how to go with that and to follow it. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're right. We all have it.
Awesome. Time for question number 2. What is a book that has greatly influenced your life?
So the book that has greatly influenced my life is Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterwood.
I have not heard that book. I gotta look at this. Okay, wait, it's Spiritual Economics?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. What's the author again?
It's Eric Butterwood. So it's spelled Butterwrth, I think. Butterworths.
I'll look it up while we're talking.
So that book, let me tell you, for me, it's really about the principle of the principle of the prospects of true prosperity. And it was an eye opener for me. It helped me learn what true forgiveness was, because I didn't understand it. A lot of times we say, oh, we forgive, but never really understanding what forgiveness was. It truly of letting go of something. You've gone through an experience, and now when you let it go, you can think about the experience, you can talk about the experience, but the experience no longer brings pain. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is really having a different attitude about money, right? And an abundance. And abundance is all over us, but a lot of times I was just measuring it in money, actually physical money. And sometimes it comes in so many different other forms. So before I read that book, and actually when I did that book in a group setting where we got to talk about every chapter, which was a really great experience. And every week we talked about our experience the week before, and we were able to see the financial shift in the process of doing this, while we was reading this book. So at the time I had just moved to Florida, and I was living in a room with someone because that's where my financial allowed me to. And it was my first experience of having to do that. It was really tough on me. And shortly after reading this book, my life kind of shifted big and upwardly. Is when I had my life insurance agency, and it just swung up really big in my financial world, and everything, my healing process shift. So that book, I mean, I don't remember a lot of names of books, but that book, and especially the author, I remember the author because of the experience I've had with that book and the shift it made in my life personally. And I think I would say, doing it as a group reading, it probably was even more beneficial for me because we each got to share our experiences, and we each got to see the shift that we all were making.
Nice. Yeah, money issues come up frequently in my life, and I'm reading about, I think it's called Get Rich Bitch right now. But just the title of this, I'm very spiritually oriented, so the title of the book alone just really draws me. So I'm definitely gonna check it out and see what kind of shifts it can create for me.
It's a really good group experience. Just form a group club for this. If you already have a book club, and share this book and really kind of have the experience with the book. Yeah.
You can't, those that are just hearing this on the podcast can't see my face, but I'm like, ooh, idea. Yes, we're having a book club around this book.
Perfect.
But it's so true. I think you guys both bring up a really good point, and I find it to be such a common theme for a lot of women is that the money side of things. And I'm not really sure where that all stems from, but
right.
I love how I had never heard of this book. It is jumped to the top of my list. Definitely going to invest in that. And we might be seeing a book club come inside Circle of Goddesses group over this book, I think.
I think this is a great plan. Yay. All right. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite self-care practice?
Oh, that's easy for me. Meditation. I love to meditate. I can sit in there for hours. I days if they allow me to. My favorite time is to close my eyes. It's where I feel most safe. It's where I feel just free. It's where I get to be. I just love meditation. If I need it in the middle of the day, I'll take the break to do it, and maybe it's just 5 minutes. I do it before interviews. I center myself and ground myself, and I allow that light to just come through and allow me to flow. I love meditation. I love meditation. This is actually my favorite thing to do, and my wife has actually picked it up, and I love that. So when I met her, she didn't meditate, and I never pushed it on her. I just continued doing me, right? Allow her to be her. And it took her years. And then one day I saw her, and I'm like, and I didn't say anything. I saw it again in the morning and the night. And I was like, what?
But that's beautiful. Like, oftentimes, like, we want people to change. We want people to do stuff. But, we can never make anybody do anything. But when you say stay true to yourself, and that influences other people, and like you got to see that, so firsthand right there.
Yes,
So
yes,
awesome.
you're right. We want to change people, and part of meditating for me really kind of helped me with that. Right, you get to allow her to be herself. You get to allow her to be. You want to be, she gets to be, and we get to live in this world, being each other and understanding that we're different. We bring two different things to this world. This relationship works really well because one's completely right brain, one's completely left brain. And we don't understand, but we get to talk about it, So yeah, you're absolutely right. And meditation helped me get there. I love it. I can't talk about it enough. People ask, what kind of meditation you do? Well, it's different every day for me. It's different. It's not the same process. Some days I might want music. Some days I might want words. Some days I just want silence. It's different. And silence, some days I may want to empty my brain. Some days stuff flows across and I just watch it like a movie. It's a different experience, So yeah, just love it.
It's interesting because as I started meditating, I guess a couple of years ago, I had been told by a functional medicine doctor 12 years ago that I should start meditating. And I was like, meh, I was probably like your wife. I was like, man, I'm fine. But I actually started meditating a couple of years ago. And I have to say, like, even going through everything a lot of us have been through in the last year, and especially for me lately, I've been through some like sadness. The meditating I think has been really a strong part of my healing process. So, before I had used meditating for stress and for my overall well-being and my health and just, manifestation and all these other things, like you said, it changes every day. And lately it's been actually really wonderful. It has really helped me to kind of grasp what's going on, and along with help from very good friends. Wink, wink to Julietta. But it has just really been helpful. So I really encourage, I know if you listen to us regularly, we talk about meditating a lot of our guests, right, Julietta? They are like,
absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're not doing it and you don't know where to start, just start. You can start small, right? I mean, honestly, Tracy, it doesn't have to be anything major. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know Julietta and I like to use the insight timer. Everybody's different, uses different ways to do it, but I think it's very valuable for us.
There's so many tools out there now for people to access, whether it's the Insight Timer app or just search on YouTube. There's a cajillion YouTubes on there. Sometimes it is just putting on some music that's pleasant to listen to and getting quiet and just being in the moment, and sometimes it is complete silence.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm like, one of the greatest feelings there is out there is that silence, when there's nothing else going on. It's like such a level of deep peace. Love it.
Yes, and just listen to the wind with the trees, just listen to the birds. Meditation comes in so many different ways. It really is about being present,
Completely.
Yeah.
And I have to apologize because I'm pretty sure I just called you Tracy because of your wife. And Karen, I know it's you. I love you guys. And Tracy was on and we were talking about meditation, and now you're talking about meditation. I'm like, I think I'm just like.
It happens all the time.
Does it really? Why is
that?
Some
people, a lot of people call her Karen, and they call me Tracy, and it goes back and forth like that. Even people that knows us well. So don't feel bad.
All right.
I think it's too because of the beautiful, amazing connection that they have. It's like they're one.
We are. Our last name is the same, so there you go.
I'm like, how do you do that? When they have like the celebrities and they put half and half of the names together to make one name. I don't know how Tracy and are you Trayson?
That's a baby, right?
Kelsey. I don't know.
Now we're gonna have us to go try to figure that one out.
Oh, I like Kelsey. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to think about that one.
Kelsey's gonna be in that one today, I bet.
All right, we gotta keep this rolling here. So, accountability is so big for everybody. Karen, how do you create accountability in your world?
How do I create accountability in my world? I would have to say that my word is my bond, and I live by that. And I first need to keep my word to myself before I can keep my word to other people. So if I say I'm going to do something, of course, 8 out of 10 times I do it. You have the times where you don't do it. If you're any human on this earth, there's times when that happens, you don't do it. So because I focus on keeping my word to myself, my accountability falls in line with that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I feel like Tracy said something very similar.
Really?
I really do, for some reason.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I would have to go back and listen. And it just made me think of it because, like, I agree with Julietta. You guys are such an amazing, like, couple. And I only know you guys really from social media and, a little bit. But so I feel like she did. Now I'm going to have to go back and listen to that podcast.
And she just named it in the chat, Kiersey. That's you guys' name now, Kiersey.
Hold on, I gotta show her. Here, wait, there you go. I'm on it. Kiersey, there she goes. That's it. Listen, then I don't have to worry about messing up your guys' names. I just call you Kiersey.
That's a baby name, honey, right? Oh man. That's a good one. We'll be laughing at that for the rest of the day. It's just funny.
For sure. But back to, my word is my bond. Like, think about what a different place this world would be if everybody lived up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even for our young people. I mean, I know you just said, Karen, you have a 29-year-old daughter. Mine are a little bit younger in their early 20s. And I think accountability is something that they're learning to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. My goal in life is to live. Me personally, I got to talk about myself, is to live with peace, be in peace, be in the flow, just be in harmony, and keeping my word. It's one of the biggest things that helps do that.
Yeah, it takes a big load off if when you're that's living in integrity, and how much living in integrity does make your life so much more peaceful, so much less stress when you're in integrity with yourself. And yeah, perfect. All right, it's time for our takeaways. And you want to go first, Allison, or you want me to go first?
I can go first. I was echoing there for a minute, so I muted myself, but I think I'm good now. Okay. Oh, no, I'm still echoing, aren't I?
Not with us. I don't hear the echo.
Okay, good. All right. My takeaway is the book, Spiritual Economics. And I think I just came up with an amazing idea for our Facebook group. I think we need to have an interactive book club once a month. We'll talk about that more later. But I'm like, oh, thank you, Karen. That was such a good idea. So
I'll send you my bill.
Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Cause we've been trying to think how are other ways that we can kind of, interact with our group and the women that we're working with and helping and promoting and all that stuff. And that might be a really fun way. So that's my takeaway.
I think it sounds like an awesome way. And maybe Karen's going to come in and give some feedback since she's so connected to that book.
Yes. We can have quote unquote guest trainers, guest speakers.
I'm very open to that.
Okay.
Awesome. So that's also partially my takeaway too, like, because it's definitely a topic that's showing up in my life right now. And so I'm definitely excited to check that book out. And the other thing that was just resonating really deeply with me today is trusting yourself. And, I think probably 90% of the time I'm there, but as with everything in our life, you can always bump things up to the next level. And I think some of that comes from, right now there's a lot of chaos in the world right now, and just so much chaos being thrown in our faces. And, that also speaks to, disconnecting from our devices and stuff that we talked about earlier today. But yeah, bumping up that trust to a new level is my takeaway. How about you, Karen? What's your takeaway for today?
What I'm taking away from today is this is what you guys doing is so important for women and for men too. You're welcome. You get to come in, and we get to really support you guys and spreading the word some more and just kind of sharing that out and just really encouraging people to support each other because we really need it, you know. So yes.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
And I'm watching the shift in Julietta. It's amazing. It's mind blowing from you being afraid to talk, right, Julietta? And seeing the confidence in you with this. So this is just amazing. It's an amazing platform for folks. And it helps us grow.
For sure. That's what we're, if we're not growing, we're dying. So keep on growing, peeps.
Yeah. Thank you guys for inviting me to do this.
Thank you so much, Karen, for joining us today. And you're just an amazing human being, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. And I'm grateful to have Allison in my life. Like, I could get all mushy right now from this one right here. Bring out all my mushiness.
Feeling all the feels right now. It's awesome. And thank you so much, Karen. And we are definitely going to put all the information to your but you have the website, right? A Facebook page. I know you have all kinds of info on BowTie Gurl and BowTie Kids. And I think it's amazing what you're doing in the community. And I'm so glad we found a name for you guys. #crazy. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the pounding. My amazing roofer is fixing my roof. So we just go with those things.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, good.
Yep. It's not coming through. So I want to thank our audience for showing up today. Thank you for all our support. If you liked what you hear today, please subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your friends. Please share it with your friends because we want to get out there and touch and support all the women that we possibly can out there in the community. And check the show notes. We will have links to everything that Karen shared with us and also how to get a hold of Allison and I. And yeah, thank you everyone again. Have a magical day.
Bye guys. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Bye.